Today we're having a conversation about Monaco, and our guest speaker wants to share her experience during the years that she was working in Monaco. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you found Monaco and why you got started working in that specific city?
Hello, everyone. So basically, I found it overrated and overpriced. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. Is overrated and overpriced because I didn't work as an employee. Just to be clear, I had my own small company in there, and I was living half in France, half in Monaco, inside the principality. I found it overrated and overpriced because I think for the money you have to pay is far too expensive and the services are crappy or crap.
Right.
So when I mean services, I mean government services. So it's very strict. First of all, it's not a fiscal paradise. Contrary what loads of people think, like you have loads of companies like relocating to Monaco, advertising how to relocate to Monaco. There are two completely different things. It's one thing having a business base there, and it's a different thing being a personal fiscal resident as a person. Yeah, fiscal resident as a person. So basically you have the income from somewhere else and you just declare living there. Yeah, I can go in details in between the differences. Yeah, between these two, I'll go in details. What's one, what's the difference between them? So if you have a company, if you register any kind of business, first of all, there is an official website, so people can go on the official website. Then they don't need middle companies or intermediary people. You need there are certain jobs, let's say called profession réglementée, like doctors, dentists, lawyers, architects, which if they are not monégasque meaning born in Monaco from a monégasque parent, they can't access it. You can do. Basically, most of people, they are doing like a consultancy, they register consultancy business because most of businesses are oversaturated. So when you go to the government to apply to register a business, they will tell you most activities like real estate or building, insurances, they have too many of this. So they won't accept it. Any activity, any professional activity or any business has to be approved by the Chamber of Commerce and minister by himself. Then you need to pay compulsory health insurance and pension. And if you do more than 30%, more than a quarter, of business numbers outside Monaco, meaning you provide services outside Monaco, which most of people do if they are not like a brick-and-mortar business based in Monaco, they pay tax. It's 33% in tax, like France. So this is not a fiscal paradise at all, from my point of view. Now, for people who are applying, which that's, I think, the main attraction for so-called wealthy people who want to become a physical resident, yeah. What they see on TV and advertised on YouTube and everywhere, like flashy and bling bling, yeah, which is not bling bling at all because it's very strict. I'll go into details. So you need, as well, the conditions are on an official government website, so it's very easy to check. Usually they require, in the last 3 years, they changed the law, so it's like 500,000 euros minimum deposit in a Monaco-based bank, an address in Monaco, inside Monaco. So basically, you need to rent a flat or to buy a flat. Yeah, considering buying a studio is about 1.5 million, so most people are renting.
For good reason, right?
Then it's true, you don't pay income tax. So if you have income from stocks, bonds, crypto, anywhere else, from somewhere else like Dubai or UK or Germany, you don't pay income tax on those. But the problem is, this is in theory, yeah. So when you go to, for example, you go to bank and you open a bank account with that 500,000 euros, before they required enough to prove you have sufficient funds. Yeah, you have sufficient funds to sustain yourself in there, but they didn't have a certain amount. So there were people who are going through with 300,000 per year, for example. When you go to the bank to transfer those 500,000 or a million or 10 millions or whatever, the bank will require a proof of the money, where the money come from. When you come to sell, when you have to prove, you need the proof of funds. The thing is, for example, if you sell, so I prefer to give like basic examples to be more clear. If you have a house in Austria, by the way, or in Germany, yeah, you sell the house for 1 million euros, you transfer the fund, you pay the taxes from because for example, I know as I lived in about 7 countries, there are like, when you sell a house in the UK or in France or any piece of real estate, you pay loads of taxes behind that for the transaction. So you pay the tax in your own country and then you transfer the funds into Monaco Bank. If you transfer the money from a business or you have them, let's say in cash, not in cash, in a suitcase, but I mean cash in a bank, they will start, Monaco Bank, they will start requiring like, you need to prove the source of funds. And as well, they have plenty of, they have plenty of what they consider like high-risk countries, which are not necessarily, this is not Syria or Afghanistan. When they call what they name high-risk countries, they can be Bulgaria, they can be EU countries, yeah. It can be Latvia, it can be any country they don't like, or is not France, Germany, or the UK.
I wanted to ask you another question because there are all these YouTube influencers who love to talk about Monaco. You know, they're selling relocation services. Yet it appears that they haven't spent a single day in Monaco and that they're just trying to make money from these services, right? Relocation and residence permits. Is that a big business in that specific city or not?
It's relocation is one of main businesses in Monaco. So I lived 4 years inside Monaco, 12 years on the French Riviera, which was in France next door. So 4 years it was inside Monaco. And regarding like the relocation advertising, there are plenty of people, from what I've noticed myself. For me, it was very funny, not to say ridiculous. Usually how it works is, there are plenty of relocation companies like middlemen, especially for non-EU citizens, because if you don't have an EU passport, you need a Schengen visa from France, a long stay Schengen visa, and in order to apply for the resident card in Monaco. Because everything is in French, it's a bit more complicated for non-French speakers. They have an English version on the government website, but usually like the local employees, you basically have to be there, to be based there. Most of government employees, they don't speak English so well, so the main language is French. And those people who are like influencers, how you call them, yeah, who are selling the relocation services, what they did, they contacted the middleman, like a relocation company based in Monaco. They went to Monaco, they didn't spend more than a weekend. So they went to, plus because, you know, like we do 2 photos on a Lamborghini and wow, it's bling bling and it's very nice. Right. But they didn't live for a day there. So they don't know the everyday problems. And of course, middlemen, the middleman company, they never tell them any possible encounter problem, any problem they could have during the process. So that's why they sell like loads of YouTubers. They live somewhere else. They don't live in Monaco. They went you have city breaks, yeah. Anyway, from Nice to Monaco, it's 1 hour by train, and you go there for 2 days. It's one thing to go on a holiday. You know, I never lived in Miami, and I've been there on holiday, and I don't have a clue about Florida taxes and laws for people who want to live there, who want to relocate there. It's the same with those YouTubers who keep promoting Monaco, and Monaco as a fiscal paradise. Because for me, it's absolutely ridiculous when I hear like it's a fiscal paradise. It's not a fiscal paradise. Even the government promotes this in the last 20 years because they were on a gray list or blacklist in Europe, and they wanted to take off Monaco from the fiscal paradise list. You don't pay income tax as an individual. Yeah, but if you're not French or American, just be US citizens, they pay taxes everywhere, and France has a fiscal convention with Monaco. So they are taxed in their country of origin. That's why there are not many Americans in Monaco.
So would you say that it's extremely overrated?
I think it became extremely overrated, especially with COVID, because as I already gave you the details. It was my big aha moment. It's extremely strict. It's very small, so it has like 2 square meters. Yeah, it's very, very supervised. Now they want it, so everything is CCTV, which on one hand is good for, let's say, like residents' safety, but on the other thing is used by local authorities to over supervise certain things or certain people they don't like. And now apparently they want to import like facial recognition cameras from China. So it's going to be even worse. What I wanted to say regarding the coming back to the like physical resident, when I said, so you need the proof of funds and you need to show you have an address. When you rent a flat, yeah, there are two things. First one, they are very, very strict on rules, which means you can't rent like a studio. You have 2 children. So there is a minimum surface. Yeah.
Right.
Police is coming, immigration police is coming. So for example, like a family with 2 kids, they need 100 square meters at least. Immigration police is coming inside this is one thing that bothered me a lot. Like immigration police comes inside your address, your flat or your house. Usually they don't have houses, they have apartments. And they check, you live inside, they check your toilets, they check your drawers, they check your fridge. I know plenty of people, like for example, Australian couple, there are plenty of wealthy people who, for example, they rented like a small flat in Monaco, and with the same amount, instead of buying like a 2-bedroom flat in Monaco, they were buying a huge villa 1 kilometer away in France, in Rogrum Cap Martin or in Cap d'El. And they declared the address, the fiscal residence in Monaco. And the immigration police was coming inside their house and they were opening the fridge, like, you have 2 bottles of Perrier in your fridge. What do you eat? You don't live here. There is an entire network, from what I've heard, but this, I don't know it personally, of people coming into people's flats and using electronics like TVs and laundry machine just to have the electricity bill going on, just to prove someone is living there. So they check this too. I personally had a boyfriend, I have a former boyfriend who was eligible for like 10-year residency. So they give you like three times 1 year, the resident card, then it's 3 times 3 years. And then you're eligible for 10 years, because basically you live there long term. Yeah. And it was during COVID when they rejected the 10-year card and they renew it for 3 years. And they asked him his bank statements from the Monaco bank to show how much money he was spending inside Monaco. So it's not at all like you're a billionaire, you close or whatever, and you rent a studio and you declare your fiscal resident in there. You don't pay tax, and then you fly away in New York, Australia, wherever you fancy. So basically, you have to be stuck in there. It's not like Dubai.
Crazy.
So I had to tell her myself, yeah.
So that's the dark side of Monaco. Well, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
You have other dark sides as well, but ask.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm uploading new videos on digital nomad locations, travel updates, and investment advice several times a week right now. And if you got some more time left, check out these videos. Thank you for watching.